Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
Hey, what's going on, family? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, episode 583. That's right. It's your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join this evening's conversation. On today's convo, y'all, we're going to talk about all things Tennessee. If you haven't heard the news, well, Tennessee just voted on doing a redistricting in the state, removing their majority black district, Memphis, taking that out, just erasing it fully. And so they have voted on to move forward to have a 9-0 congressional map. 9-0 congressional map. 9 Republican districts, 0 Democratic districts, causing so much havoc in the state of Tennessee. Representative Justin Pearson, who is also a candidate running for Congress out in Tennessee, but he currently serves on the state legislature. He was seen getting extremely irate with state troopers because they were getting a bit aggressive with his brother, who was in attendance there. Obviously, they were wanting to remove protesters, and I'll have the video. I'll show it to you later. Also, what happened in my home state of Virginia in the recent weeks, very influential figure in the Virginia politics, Democratic state senator, longtime senator, and chairwoman of the Finance Committee, Senator pro tempore, Senator Louise Lucas. FBI had raided her office, 2 of her offices in Portsmouth, her political office, and then she has also a cannabis. She co-owns a cannabis business or cannabis shop in Portsmouth, and I want to say it's 2 locations, Portsmouth and Norfolk. But it was like, okay, where's this coming from? Where in the world is this coming from? They were unaware, and it's the back and forth. There's one side saying, hey, this is the get back because Senator Louise Lucas was the one who led the redistricting here in the state of Virginia that ended up winning this past on April 21st. They Democrats had won in favor, or for not just Democrats, but for those who were in favor for a change in congressional maps. She's the one that led that charge. And so it's speculation that, this is just a political get back. Then that's why, political gang and political power. And we're going to talk about that. I shared a small clip on our YouTube channel just when it first happened, the day of, because it was major news, obviously locally, but also it made national news as well. And that's another thing too. It was a bit suspicious because it was only but one national news media that was there before the FBI even raided, and it was Fox News. Interesting. Also, a story here that is hits home as well. Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is a premier city in the Commonwealth. It's the largest city population-wise. It's where most tourists come to visit. Well, the oceanfront has been in the news due to its crime, and it caused a temporary 3-day curfew for all ages, all right, teens, kids, adults, and it affected a lot of the local businesses at the oceanfront. So now they're saying the city is putting forth, I believe, $1 million plus to a campaign to help promote the oceanfront, so it can bring families down there to help bring back life to the oceanfront, help the businesses. And so I'll share my take on that as well. But we got a lot to discuss. We have a lot to discuss. I'll also share a little bit in regards to California elections happening, the Los Angeles mayoral race, as well as the governor's race. And we go back to the question on who can the Democrats rely on as their leader come 2028. Okay. I bring that up because I was watching a recent show of Will Kane on Fox News. Yes, I watch Fox News from time to time. I watch all news. Okay, doesn't I look, just because I'm not a fan of it doesn't mean I can't watch it. So Will Kane, which I remember Will Kane when he was back on ESPN, but Will Kane is he's a host. He's a personality. I wouldn't consider him, a true, reporter, journalist. No, he has a show, and he's right before, if I'm not mistaken, he's right before the 5, because his time slot was originally the icon Neil Cavuto, okay, someone that was true to his craft back when but he ended up retiring because, hey, he got tired of Fox BS. So I mean, who isn't? But one of Will Kane's guests was the co-president, I believe, co-president, co-founder of the Dallas Young Democrats. So I'll share the clip that he mentioned in regards to who can the party rely on come 2028. So we got a lot to share, a lot to discuss here on today's show. But again, it's redistricting happening all over, y'all. I just want to, I'll just be honest. It's redistricting wars happening all across this nation. And it sickens me as a voter. It sickens me because at the end of the day, gerrymandering takes the power out of the people. It takes the power out of the votes. All it is a power grab. It's a power strategy so that those that are in power can maintain power or gain more power. I'll be honest, I did not like it when it was brought here in Virginia. Okay. I say it all the time. I understood why Democrats pushed forth for it, because we have an administration in Washington, a president that has called governors firsthand. Hey, look, I need 5 more seats. We need to do this redistricting. We need to go. I need 5 more seats here. I need 5 more. Like, he is trying to build so much power to the point where he just wants to obliterate the Democrats. And that's all that it is. That's all that it is. And it's unfortunate because, look, me being in the middle, I don't like either side personally. I don't like the 2-party system. That doesn't mean I don't think there's advocates on either side that aren't trying to do what's best for their constituents and for the people. But at the end of the day, you cannot govern a society, in my opinion, with one party view or one party value. You just can't. You just can't. In certain parts, in certain areas, in certain ways, you need to find ways to compromise and bring multiple ideas and multiple views to one, to see how we can, because that's what makes us so unique, right? We're the wealthiest country in the world. We're the land of opportunity. But in these current times, man, it's not looking like we have a lot of opportunity, right? We're in a period now where rights are being taken away. Okay, Supreme Court, they're weakening the Voting Rights Act. The Voting Rights Act. We live in a society where women don't have full control of their bodies. We live in a world where there's voting suppression. We live in a world where folks are trying to ignore our true history so that it won't make our society a better America. Like, that's not right. Okay, it's uncalled for. It's past uncalled for. It's disgusting. You're erasing history. When you erase Black history, you're just erasing American history, because Black history is American history. Ending diversity programs. If you have a diversity program, we're gonna cut funding from you. I mean, since when does America been the country of bullies? Right? We have bullies in leadership. We vote for bullies in office. We say, oh, we need that bully, because at the end of the day, they get the job done. We need to scare our allies. We need to scare everybody and be the top. We need to show that we're tough and this and that. No. Having allies working together. See, there was a time where people were like, we had peaceful relationships with folks from all countries. Now it's like, who wants to be friends with us? Right? Like, it's like what's going on here? What's going on? But y'all, we have a lot. We got a lot to chop it up with. A lot to chop it up. We have a lot to discuss on. I don't know what I just said there. A lot to chop it up. We got a lot to discuss on today's show. As always, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule for tuning into yet another great show, another great conversation. As you know, we drop new episodes weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, as well as wherever you get your podcast, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, just to name a few. We're available on all major podcast platforms. You can also listen to us in your cars if you happen to be in one of our 3 affiliate states. Shout out to KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM Las Vegas, where you can listen in to the Arrington Gavin Show Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Again, that's only on KSHP 1400 AM and 107.1 FM Las Vegas. Then we're going to head over to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, where you can listen in weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Arrington Gavin Show. Weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then lastly, we're going to head over to New Orleans, WBOK 1230 AM, What New Orleans Is Talking About, where you can listen into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. Also, you can watch past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on the GOATverse TV app. That's right, GOATverse TV app, greatest of all time, Verse TV. You can download it on the App Store. You can also download it on your Google Play Store or Roku or Amazon Fire TV. So it's multiple ways you can chime into the show and catch up on some of our past great episodes. All of our episodes are great. I mean, I'm not gonna just brag, but all of our shows are great. I'm sorry, just especially when we have guests. Oh man, we in for a treat. Wanna thank my previous guests that I've had on the last couple shows. First I had Tim Sawinski, who is running. He's running for Congress he's a Democratic candidate running for Congress in Virginia's 1st congressional district. Also, I want to thank Jen Johansson, who is a consultant. She works a lot with progressive candidates. She has a she's a true expert, runs a candidate program, and I just enjoyed the conversation I had with her the last time she was here. So I just want to thank our guests. We got some more guests lined up for you, as we always do here on the show. So I just want to thank them for taking the time out their busy schedule and coming here on the show. Soon I'll be having some more candidates on, even coming from a local level, because as you know, I always love to share the importance of local issues, local politics. We have to be aware and informed of what's going on in our own backyard. So I'll be speaking with some city council candidates as well as school board candidates. So stay tuned for that as well. I also want to, if I have some time here, I want to shout out my good friend, Mr. Aaron Phillips, a true icon, someone who is a award-winning radio and TV personality. I was recently on his program, which the air date we have not dropped the air date just yet, but here's some pictures of I posted. So my main man, Aaron Phillips, he hosts a program out here called The Voice of 757. The Voice of 757. Now, Aaron's career, I mean, he was a guest on the show too before, so he's no stranger to the program. But his career spans, I mean, decades. He started off, I believe, in Las Vegas. Actually, he was used to host a program on KSHP, and he has since then moved from coast to coast and has continued to grow his career. Like I said, he's on TV weekly out here in the Hampton Roads area, and I was honored to be a guest on his show. And these are just some clips right here. So this is obviously myself and Aaron. I was promoting one of my businesses there, Rugged Evolution, men's grooming line, and some behind the scenes shots. And there you go, I was sitting there and all that great stuff. That's my good friend Amanda Lunwin. And yeah, it was a great time. But I just want to shout out again him because his show is so needed. It focuses on all things local, but it talks about all the remarkable figures that are in the area. Those that are doing great work, whether it's philanthropic work, business, sports, you name it. He brings it all to this program, and it showcases the wonderful things about the 757. So I've always just appreciated programs like that, local programs like that, because it's needed. You need to always learn your history and just your strength about, you know, what makes my community so great, what makes my hometown so great. And so I just appreciate, I want to shout out him one more time. Okay, my friends, look, let's go ahead and take a quick break here. When we come back, we're gonna get it going with our conversations on some of our topics and stuff. So yeah, do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York, and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up. Yeah, this that new Gold Verse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In goats, we trust.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. All right, let's get it going first with this story that occurred in my home state of really in my neck of the woods out in the Hampton Roads area. There was a raid that had happened in the recent weeks of influential state senator, I would say probably the most powerful woman next to the governor and lieutenant governor, Senator L. Louise Lucas, who has been in office. She's been a state senator since like 91, 92. She started off as a councilwoman in the city of Portsmouth. I believe she was the first African American woman elected. Then she was elected to serve as a state senator. She happens to be the first African American woman to serve as the chair of the Finance Committee Okay, so she's broken barriers like crazy. She was an activist before she was involved in politics. But she's always been very vocal too. She helped lead the charge to this redistricting change here in the Commonwealth. She was front and center. She was the very first person to speak, and then after her was House Speaker Don Scott that spoke the same. But Luis has always been front and center. So let me show you this clip here. But there was a raid that occurred at her office in Portsmouth, and as well as a couple of her businesses that she co-owns. So check this out here.
Waves are rippling through the Commonwealth right now. Federal law enforcement sources telling Fox News FBI agents executed court-authorized criminal search warrants at Senator Luis Lucas's office in Portsmouth earlier today. But the federal reach did not stop there. Simultaneously, agents raided a cannabis dispensary believed to be connected to the longtime senator. When asked for a reaction, Lucas told Fox News she had, quote, no idea why the FBI was there. Details of the specific charges remain under wraps. A federal judge signed off on the warrants, agreeing there is probable cause to believe criminal activity occurred. Fox News reporting tonight the investigation was opened during the Biden administration into possible corruption and bribery. Luis Lucas currently serves as one of the top senators in the Virginia Senate, serving as president pro. Meanwhile, she was one of the leading voices pushing for redistricting in the Commonwealth to favor Democrats.
I am awaiting more details to become public before weighing in with any strong public comment. And as more information becomes available, I look forward to making further comment.
In a statement, Virginia House Speaker Don Scott says, quote, I am deeply concerned by today's FBI raid. Given the politicization of this administration, I think people should take this with a grain of salt and allow the facts to come out before jumping to conclusion. Shockwaves are...
and it's still an ongoing investigation, ladies and gents. Nothing new has been brought out yet. She did, Senator Luis Lucas did put out a statement later that evening, and I want to read it to you all. It says here, today's actions by federal agents are about far more than one state senator. They are about power and who is allowed to use it on behalf of the people. What we saw fits a clear pattern from this administration when challenged. They try to intimidate and silence the voices who stand up to them. Just 2 weeks ago, Virginians sent a powerful message when they voted to stop Trump's scheme to manipulate the 2026 midterm elections. Voters across the Commonwealth made clear that power belongs with the people, not with politicians who try to take power away from them. Pause. Let me explain what she's meaning right there. What she's insinuating is the fact that President Donald Trump, as I mentioned earlier in the show, had reached out, called these states to say, hey, look, I need more congressional seats. Bump the voters, get them for me. Tennessee, we just saw it happen. Texas was the first. North Carolina was actually the first, in Texas, Florida. You got Bama, Missouri. I already said Tennessee. They reached out to Kentucky. Kentucky said no. I believe Indiana, they reached out to Indiana. They said no. So yeah, I appreciate states that ignored it. But at the end of the day, he's going to continue to fight on. And see, when you have folks that will kiss up to whatever Trump tells them to, like some of those other states that I've mentioned, they're going to do whatever they can to make them happy. Now, let me continue on Senator Lucas' statement. She says, I was proud to help lead the effort and I have never been afraid to stand up to Donald Trump or anyone else that has tried to undermine our democracy. I am deeply grateful for the love and support of my family and friends, and for the many colleagues and constituents who have reached out in recent hours. I will have more to say in the days ahead, but know this: I'm not backing down. I will keep fighting for the people of Portsmouth and the Commonwealth of Virginia. That was her statement the day of that event. So it was just the big question is, Why? What was this? Now you heard the reporter say that this was the ongoing investigation that started back in the Biden-Harris administration. If that's true, again, we really don't know. Now, I've reached out to contacts of mine that are, I consider experts in the political space. Those, kind of like insiders. Majority of them are saying this is a revenge back, get back at you kind of thing, a revenge tour from Washington. Because again, we know how this administration rolls. We know how Trump rolls. Okay, let's just be frank here. You piss him off, he's going to do all he can to make your life a living hell. Right? I mean, you had former FBI director Comey back in the courts. Trump, speaking of FBI director, Trump celebrated the death of a former FBI director. I mean, it's just, you go against him. Hell, even there's this White House correspondent from the far right network, Real America Voice, Brian somebody, I don't know his name, but it was funny because Brian is engaged to Marjorie Taylor Greene, former Republican congresswoman out of Georgia, and now currently on Trump's F off list. And so Trump had shot it out. Brian's like, "Hey, I like you. You're good. I don't like your girlfriend too much. I don't like her. You're a good guy though. You're great. I like you. I really do. But I don't like you. I don't like your girlfriend. Not his girlfriend, his fiance. But I mean, like immediately after that, now you see Brian saying, it's bittersweet today. I'm gonna be, signing off of Real America's. And here's the thing. He knows he ain't got to do these crummy, networks. I mean, real voice, whatever it is. I mean, that stuff is based out of someone's backyard. Okay, like that, literally, like they're must see trash TV. And Brian is one of the most the biggest grifters of all, because he was a guy. I don't know if you could recall. Now I know I'm not talking anywhere where done talking about this segment, but he was one of the reporters that insulted Vladimir Zelensky, or President Zelensky, president of the Ukraine, when he came to speak with Trump and Vance. And really it was a 2-on-1 attack. It was extremely disgusting. But Brian asked Zelensky, "Do you own a suit? Like, why can't you show some respect to the president? Why did you own a suit? And this and that and that." And I'm just like, wow, Brian, man, you're just making it very known that you got the brown stuff on your nose, man. Wipe it off, please, because you're starting to stink. Okay. Zelensky looked at him like, I'm glad these cameras are on, because if not, I'm gonna have to say some words to you in a not so nice way. But what Zelensky said, okay, me and my people, we're trying to fight for our survival. We got a war going on here. I don't think a suit is the last thing I'm thinking about while we have missiles and bombs being sent to us 24/7. So kindly, bro, back off. I mean, it was stupid. It was the most dumbest question. But of course, Trump's like, I like him. So anyway, yeah, Brian is engaged to Marjorie Taylor Greene. So yeah. But yeah, Marjorie's not the biggest fan of Trump right now. So let's see how that's gonna end off. Let me digress from this case here, and I want to talk a little bit about California politics for just for a little bit. I wanted to show you. Well, this is I'll speak with you right now. So, two recent debates that I've watched. I've watched two gubernatorial debates, California gubernatorial debates, and I've watched a little bit of the mayoral debate. So Karen Bass is the incumbent. There is a LA council member that is running for mayor in Los Angeles. And then you have I'm gonna get her name. Give me 1 second. Okay, Nathia Raman, who actually leads in the polls right now. She is a Los Angeles council member. There's a could be a possibility that it elects its own Democratic Socialist mayor. So she is a true progressive. She's currently leading in the mayoral field right now. According to reports, she pulls 32.5% support from likely voters, while Karen Bass is at 17, and reality star Spencer Pratt, reality TV star, is at 11.5%. Now, 48% of respondents also say they would prefer a Democratic Socialist mayor. Now, I'll say it like this. It ain't going to be Karen. I'm going to say it ain't going to be Karen. Nathia Raman could possibly be the next because, again, we're talking about one of the most bluest states in the USA, one of the most liberal cities in the United States. Spencer Pratt is running as an independent, as a registered independent. Now, he voted Republican in the previous elections, but he's running as an independent. Spencer has received a crap ton of money. I believe one of his donors was Jenny Buss, former owner of the Los Angeles Lakers, and some other big wigs. Because I mean, Spencer Pratt comes from Hollywood scene. The Hills was a popular show. He was known as like a TV villain at the time, but he has since then rehabilitated himself. He had some demons, some struggles in his past, but he has overcome that. He's married, has a beautiful family, his kids, the whole 9 yards. Now, sadly, him and his family had lost their home due to the wildfires in LA, and so he's living in like this trailer on his property, and that's what he's been using a lot as part of his campaign, because he's like, look, for far too long we've had the same exact leadership, in a sense, right? When's enough? And look, Karen Bass, I will remind you all, Karen Bass left during those wildfires. I don't know if she went on vacation. I just know she went out of the country and then came back. So it ain't a good look for her. Spencer has done really good as far as his campaign ads and focusing on the messaging. Again, him being one with the people can help. The debate, he was pretty solid for someone that was a newcomer. It's interesting to me. I mean, to me, Los Angeles could say, well, let's go ahead and give Spencer a try. Let's go ahead and give him a try. See what we can do. But again, it's extremely liberal. So I don't know how the majority is gonna vouch to have Spencer on. But I mean, you know how I feel about kind of like the California scene and just the California politics. I think they have been blue for quite some time. I think it's good to maybe alternate slightly, just to say, okay, look, let's give it a try here and let's give it a try there, or find somebody a little more moderate. But hey, Nathia she's showed herself being pretty solid. But I'm just saying, don't fall asleep on Spencer Pratt. Do not fall asleep on Spencer Pratt. Now moving up to the governor's race, Steve Hilton. I've already shared my top 3 in the past, but let me just remind you on the candidates there. You got Katie Porter, Congresswoman out of California. You have Steve Hilton, businessman and commentator, Fox News commentator. You have former sheriff Chad Bianco. You have San Jose Mayor Mahan. Then you have Becerra, who worked on a federal level. Okay, then you have billionaire Tom Steyer. Now, after those debates I've saw, Tom Steyer is not your candidate. Okay, all he has is money, and that's it. Katie Porter, I'm not a fan. I think again the video surfacing of her getting vicious with her staffer, I think to me hurts a campaign, because especially when it's out in the open, everybody can always resurface that. And on top of that, she was getting kind of ugly with the reporter. I didn't care for her attitude, point blank. Now, the mayor out of San Jose is being seen as kind of like their James Tellerico. That's the kind of presentation he's given, right? Chad Bianco just keeps on saying, look at what we're saying here. How long are we going to continue to have this turmoil? Because we've been under Democratic leadership for the past 30 years. And that's all he's going to say. But he's not lying. All these issues that occur in California, yes, while this has been happening, it's been under Democratic leadership. Okay, so he's not lying for that. Now, Stephen Hilton ran before, but he lost, I think, in the primary to Larry Elder. But see, what's hurting Steve, I don't know if I have the clip here, but there was a clip where he was on MS Now. Stephen Hilton was on MS Now, and he would not admit, I think this is it right here. He refused to say Joe Biden won the 2020 election. Now, that right there was, to me, I think that will really hurt him in the long run with this governor's race. Why? Because that's what a conspiracy theorist says right there. That's what Alex Jones would say. That's what Mike Lindell would say. That's what a Steve Bannon would say. We don't need a Steve Bannon or Mike Lindell in a position that runs the whole state, yet alone the wealthiest state in the United States. So Stephen Hilton, for a second he was on a roll in my opinion, and not really on a roll. I just think he was put in a good position. So let me rephrase that. It wasn't that he was on a roll with his policies and his, momentum was looking good for him. No, when Eric Swalwell, that issue occurred and he had to drop out. Katie Porter had her issues as well. I think a pathway was then provided. Be like, oh, Stephen Hilton could actually look pretty solid in this, because he was speaking at least somewhat as someone who's hold a leadership position, if that makes sense. Maybe it's because he has the British accent or something, but I don't know. It's just me. But he might have had a chance. I mean, could California see a Republican governor again, first since Schwarzenegger? Could they see could LA see a new mayor that's not a Democrat? I mean, we will see, my friends. We will see. Let me go ahead and move it on to Tennessee. Wow, this is a story right here that has really brought a lot of attention on the news cycle here. So this Tennessee story is about much more than lines on a map. Critics are saying Republicans are effectively erasing Tennessee's only majority black congressional district. Think about that for a second, my friends. Think about that. Tennessee's only black majority congressional district. Memphis, one of the blackest major cities in the South, could now be carved up into multiple districts dominated by suburban and rural Republican voters. Opponents say That means black voters lose the ability to politically organize and elect representation that reflect their community. Now, Republicans say, hold on, this isn't about race. This is about politics and population shifts. And yes, both parties have played the redistricting game over the years. I've shared with you time and time again how I hate this redistricting thing. Look, we have a census cycles that happen every 10 years. Every 10 years. But when these redistricting referendums occur mid census cycles, I hate it. I'll be honest, I hate it. And both parties are accused of doing this. Okay, even though when they bring them up, they say this is a nonpartisan issue. It's not. It's the one in Virginia was a Democratic thing, and those that voted more in favor for the no were Republicans. That's what that was. Okay, Texas Republican, Florida, Tennessee Republicans. Okay, so Democrats have done it, Republicans have done it. That part is true, but here's why people are furious. When the only majority black district in the state suddenly gets broken apart, people are going to ask questions. People are going to ask, is this strategic politics or is this modern voter suppression? And here's another uncomfortable truth. America keeps talking about diversity and representation until representation starts threatening political power. Donald J. Trump, remove DEI and diversity programs. That's why I get so sick when people say he's done more for HBCUs. My black ass, okay? He has not done jack squat for HBCUs. He has threatened universities that involve any form of diversity programs. You know how he has threatened them? Let me cut their funding so they can't get all that benefit. So the students, what are we doing? What are we doing? Come on. You've had folks on the right literally say, if I go on a plane and I see a black woman flying and I'm going to have to ask questions, how'd you get here? Did you really earn it? Did you really earn it? Are you qualified? Oh my gosh. I mean, sickens to my stomach. I remember there was a plane crash that had happened, or a helicopter crash that occurred in I don't know if it was in New York, but it was around training, and Trump is all over here making the joke that, see, this is what happens when these diversity, these DEI initiatives. I'm like whew. All right, let me go back to what I was talking about here. Let's be honest. If politicians can redraw maps anytime they don't like election outcomes, then voters start wondering whether elections are truly competitive anymore. That's why this Tennessee fight matters nationally, because what happens there could become the blueprint for redistricting battles all across America. All right. So I asked you all a few questions here. Is Tennessee targeting black political power? Should majority black districts receive stronger legal protections? Is this racial gerrymandering or standard political strategy? Let me share you a couple of clips here. The first clip I'm going to share with you all. This is, where is it? This is is that it, right? No, that's not it. Let's see. Okay, so this is Tennessee State Rep Justin Pearson, who I believe is also a candidate running for Congress out in Tennessee. He's been a very vocal, very sharp brother, activist, you name it, has been going viral with just his stances. Extremely, like I said, he's an activist. He got the fro for a reason. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He got the fro for a reason. Check this out right here.
What you are doing today is eviscerating the only black majority congressional district in our state because we are majority black. We are here because this Republican Party has to seek to steal elections and seats because the president and the party have refused to address the pain, the suffering, and the struggling of everyday Tennesseans. This is about attacking, targeting, and cracking District 9 into pieces for more political and racial dominance and white supremacy in the state of Tennessee. And what you are doing today.
All right, so that was him. That was Justin Pearson. Now, immediately after that, his brother was asked to leave out. Okay, to leave out after they allowed protesters to speak. Right, they allowed that. All right, so make sure I got the right clip here. So immediately after that, he saw that his brother was who's also an activist in his own right. He's like, hold up, let me go up there and see what's going on here. Listen to this clip. Listen to this here. And for those who are watching, watch this conversation he had with the state troopers.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You stupid mother.
And so you heard that messaging right there, right? You heard that. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And he went in and look, and honestly, that's passion. What I saw, that was passion, because hey, he's saying, look, he can walk out. You don't need to get, because they were grappling him to move him out. He's like, I don't. Now you got me all tamed, and his eyes he probably just saw red, because again, he lives in Tennessee, and Tennessee got that history. Okay, Tennessee has that history. And he specifically, you heard, so I got another clip that's from Pearson again, sharing that incident there. And then I have one more clip to share with you all, maybe a couple more, but this one is Pearson responding, sharing his providing with information on what occurred with that.
Right now, my brother, Allison, Lauren are being arrested by the state troopers because they refused to move when Cameron Sexton said so. He cleared the gallery for no clear reason. Even people on the House floor did not understand why. And now all these troopers and folks are actually arresting them and taking them down to booking. I'm going to talk to our Nashville lawyers to see what's supposed to happen. But this is what tyranny does. This is what white supremacy does. This is it trying to force us to capitulate. Yeah. And I appreciate y'all not capitulating. And I'm going to take the votes. I'm going to speak up and speak out. But this is the problem with our democracy. This is the problem when white supremacy rules and governs and guides instead of democracy. Okay, come on. Where are you going? Where the car?
Going into the van.
Going into a van right now.
I love you.
Hi, buddy. I love you. You want to get your phone? Or you want to get your... Okay. And I got your code. I love you so much. All right. It's all right. Okay. I love you. Proud of you.
First of all, it's not funny, but I'm laughing at Representative Pearson. His voice sounds so like powerful, like this man is like 60, old Baptist preacher, and he's 31. He's my age. Okay, like we're the same freaking age, but and that's his brother. That's his blood. That's his blood brother. That's not just brother. Like, hey, brother. No, that's his blood brother. And seeing those two young individuals stand up for something so powerful, I understand where the passion was coming from. Now, I'll be honest, there's times to turn off the phones, but there's times when it's needed and to get it online so you can show exactly the issues occurring, because you're not going to get this crap in legacy media. You're not. This is as organic and as grassroots as it gets. And there was one of his colleagues who had literally brought in a paper version of the Confederate flag, burned it so everybody could see. You talking about a powerful, when a man of color is holding the Confederate flag, burning it in those chambers in Tennessee. Powerful message right there. That's a powerful message. Another clip I want to share you this. Okay, so the votes, let me share you this here. Republicans in Tennessee are laughing their tails off because they literally turned what was a 8-1 GOP advantage into a 9-0 Republican controlled. 8-1 to 9-0. Now, you're probably saying, well, Arrington, aren't you being a little biased here? Because your take on the redistricting in Virginia, look at it like this. Virginia had a 6-5 and they wanted to change it to a 10-1. And I clearly will say I don't agree with that. Okay? I do not. 6-5, 6-5 seems as balanced and as fair as it's going to get. But I want to remind you all, the whole redistricting issue, it's a federal issue. It's a federal battle. It's a Washington battle. It's not just a state thing. It's a federal battle here. Okay? But what did I say in the beginning? Both parties have played this. But I'll be honest, Tennessee is different from Virginia. Tennessee has always been a red state. Majority red state. Red state. Okay? Let me show you this clip. This is a video someone took here of the Tennessee Republicans laughing the whole entire time when the protesters was voting. When they were sharing no Jim Crow, they kept on chanting no Jim Crow. They were laughing. Even some folks even brought out Donald Trump flag. Look at it. Excuse some of the language you might hear in this too, y'all. I wonder, like, what is going on in this? Hold on, let me see if I can. There is a I'm not trying to get him. There is this gentleman right here. Imagine what's going on in this brother's mind. This black man who's probably born and raised in Tennessee. He's a security there. It looks like at the in the chambers, and his expression looks like he's trying to hold back tears because he's doing his job. But you see a man coming in, an Republican elected official, walking in with the Trump 2024 flag draped across his shoulders because he couldn't bring in another flag. Hint, hint. but he probably got it in his office. He has that flag draped across his shoulders, hosting it in the air like, yes, Trump. Because you know why? Because to him, his leader told him to do a task, and they accomplished that task. This comes just days after Supreme Court ruling weakened key protections under the Voting Rights Act, making it harder to challenge maps that diluted minority voting power, which is a shame on our Supreme Court, which is why I continue to get pissed off with when it comes to Democrats, because you know why? They don't know how to play the game, and they don't know how to when they had power, they could have used it, but they want to play to be so nice. And look, I understand you want to be professional, you want to be the party of reason, you want to be the party of like, we're not trying to be bullies, we're trying to be common sense, reasonable people. I get that, but here's the thing. If you know, which you have been in, those elected officials have been in office for so damn long, they know how the game is played. Why not? And now look, they effed around and found out. And those that now are in power are utilizing their power, and they're like, no, we got this in the bag now. See what we can do. Ha 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 ha. So now, and I say that because Democrats had a chance to pack the Supreme Court. They could have brought in some other judges, but they didn't. So you got three Democrats in the Supreme Court, and you got what, six Republicans. The ruling has now opened the floodgates for states across the country to redraw maps ahead of the 2026 midterm. That's why you see Louisiana the governor bringing back the elections on the voting maps. He brought that back. He's like, oh snap, Supreme Court did this. Yes. So now again, I go back to Republicans in Tennessee openly stated they believe the new map could help create an all Republican delegation from the state turning. Look, and let me real quick, because I got like 60 seconds left. Let me show you a quick image of what those shoot, let me see. I don't know if I have time. Let's see here. This is what the map looks like now, my friends. It is, bam, look at that, all red, removing the only black majority district. That is what they voted on, my friends. Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, North Carolina, Virginia, and several other states are now engaged in what many are calling a nationwide redistricting war ahead of the midterms. Both parties are trying to redraw maps to maximize power, but so far Virginia is only the only one as far as that helped out other Republicans, but you don't see any other states, repeating. So we will see, my friends. We will see. It's going to be an interesting midterms. That's all I can say. It's going to be an interesting. It's already happened. It's already happening. So again, I'll just tell this to my listeners. How bad do you care about democracy? How bad do you care about democracy? If you care enough, then you will continue to stay informed, to stay afloat, and speak truth against power. Speak truth to power. Speak truth to power. As always, my friends, look, stay informed, stay safe out there. I'll talk to you soon for another great convo here in the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.